second installment of Krymzon Kompany, right here at SATV. I am joined by my co-host, Atwissa Tenor, and by a very special guest, Atlee Green.
Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, no
Yeah,
problem.
welcome. Awesome.
Atlee is here today to promote a fundraising event, as I'm told.
That's right. It's going to be the biggest wrestling event to ever hit the North Shore. It's called Elk Mania. It takes place on Saturday night, November 2nd, at the Beverly Salem Elks Lodge in Beverly, Massachusetts, on 39 Bow Street in Beverly. Tickets are just $10. You can get them either at the door or at Harrison's Comics, which is also in Salem, Massachusetts. This is going to be a fundraiser. All proceeds will go to the Elks National Foundation, where they support community charities, veteran services, scholarships, and youth programs throughout the country. It's going to be one hell of a time. There's going to be a fun time for the kids, games, raffles, plenty of wrestling action. It's one event you don't want to miss.
You have an ad, Mr. Tenor? Sound like,
Oh, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna miss that.
oh, no
Crazy.
way.
And the main event for our show is the PZW Heavyweight Championship. Salem's own Stevie James is defending the championship against PZW owner Derek Simonetti. Now, Derek Simonetti is also a former heavyweight champion, and this is really a student versus teacher type of matchup where Stevie James learned everything he knows about professional wrestling from Derek Simonetti. And Derek Simonetti is a little angry now that this is, without a doubt, guys, the biggest stage PZW has ever been on. And Derek Simonetti kind of feels insulted that Stevie James wants to wrestle him. It's in the spirit of competition. Stevie James just wants to prove that the student has surpassed the teacher. But Derek Simonetti looks at that as the ultimate form of disrespect. And on November 2nd, he wants to shut up Stevie James once and for all.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, okay, I was just told by a camera person I made a mistake in announcing you. You are the Slam Master, Atlee Green.
That's right, I am the Slam
I
Master.
do apologize for that.
I have a black belt in Slam Jitsu. It's the art of the slam. I've dedicated my life to this particular practice. It's a wonderful art. It really helps me out not only in the squared circle, but also helps me out in life. Keeps me balanced, keeps me motivated, keeps me calm, cool, and collect. But it's also a bad thing for any opponent that steps across the ring from me.
I don't think I'd want to be across the ring from this guy.
Slam Jitsu is not that popular, but they call Jiu-Jitsu the gentle art. Slam Jitsu is the gentle and deadly art.
Coming from quite a few people, speaking from a recipient of certain slamming, I can certainly attest to it.
Of course. I gotta tell you guys about another match on the card. The other big match on the Elk Mania card, November 2nd. It is the inaugural Bay State champion will be crowned at Elk Mania. And we're looking for the two top wrestlers in the area to compete for this, what will be a coveted championship, but we couldn't keep it at just two. So now there's gonna be three wrestlers competing. It's the first time ever a new championship has been determined in a triple threat match.
Nice, that should be.
Dastardly Doug Summers, Buddy Romano, and the unequaled one, Todd Soap, will be competing in a triple threat match to determine who will be the first Bay State champion.
Wow. No, that would be the first.
It's going to be a great match. Those three combatants are three of the best wrestlers in all of New England, and they could very well steal the show. I mean, a lot of people, Stevie James versus Derek Simonetti is going to be unbelievable as the main event, but a lot of people predict that the Bay State title match involving those three could quite possibly steal the show.
I think I would second that.
And guys, this is a lot more action on Elk Mania November 2nd. We have the 4-man Elk Mania tournament.
Ooh, what is that?
It is 4 people in the tournament vying to be the first ever Elk Mania tournament champion. And promoter Ryan Andrews actually was scouring the country looking for anybody that was worthy of being in this tournament. And he made the decision to make this an all PZW affair. All 4 wrestlers in the Elk Mania tournament are members of the Project Zero wrestling roster. In the first round, you have the wrestling machine, Tommy Corbin, taking on Joey Warner. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with those two, Tommy Corbin his nickname says it all. The Wrestling Machine. He is a deadly mechanic in the ring. He's kind of a jerk. You know, the fans aren't gonna like him, but he gets it done in the ring. Then you have Joey Warner, who's actually making his live professional debut. He has been all over the gym war circuit here in New England, beating anybody and everybody with submissions, quick pins, and great high-flying action. But he's looking forward to showing what he has in front of a live crowd come November 2nd. And then the second tournament match is Richie Sick, Salem's own Richie Sick, taking on another Salem resident in John Wilson. Now, John Wilson was Rookie of the Year in 2008. Richie Sick, his nickname is Mr. Mad Nasty for a reason. These two are going to collide. It's going to be kind of a David versus Goliath type of matchup. And the winner of those two tournament matches will face each other that night in the finals to determine who will be the Elkmania tournament champion.
Also, so the semis and the finals will be that
The
night.
semis and the
Nice.
finals will be on the same night. And if that's not enough,
What the heck?
Oh, no, he's
we're
going
gonna have a,
with this one.
we're gonna have a little fan interaction at Elkmania.
Oh, nice.
The original show-off, Mike Pava, who is a former NCW New England champion and the current Atlantic Pro Wrestling New England champion, has been running his mouth forever, talking about how he's the best, no one can beat him. He just enrages people. So we decided, you know what? Let the fans choose who Mike Pava is going to wrestle. There are going to be 3 wrestlers at Elkmania, and the fans are going to get the vote and determine who Mike Pava will wrestle that evening. Once the voting is over and the winner is announced, the match will happen immediately. So Mike Pava is not going to have much time to prepare for a particular opponent. And I'm going to give you guys a little scoop. Exclusive news here on the show.
Mhm.
It's going to be 3 wrestlers. And I'm going to tell you now who the 3 wrestlers are going to be.
Okay.
No, that has not been announced anywhere. The 3 wrestlers the fans get the vote on November 2nd is Lumberjake.
Yep,
He is
I know.
the lovable lumberjack of Northeast Championship Wrestling. Also has an extensive boxing background, so that could
Wow.
give Mike Pava a lot of problems. You also have the second wrestler that's going to be on the ballot is going to be Hunter Ward. Hunter Ward is currently one half of the Atlantic Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions. And he is chomping at the bit to get the votes necessary to wrestle Mike Pava. And the third wrestler is the lovable but ferocious Firecat.
Firecat. Ooh.
Firecat.
Oh.
He's the man, love the guy, but the man thinks he's a cat.
Does he dress like a cat?
Yes, he dresses like a cat all the way through.
Wow.
Snap.
All the way through. Like, think tiger mask, but orange.
Yes.
Wow.
Full cat suit.
Wow.
There's even a tail. He is the third person. Are you alright?
Good. Yes, thanks.
Okay, alright.
I'm all done. All done.
Yes, but that's not been announced anywhere. I saved that as an exclusive for your show.
Right.
Those are the 3 competitors that fans get to vote on November 2nd to see who wrestles Mike Pava. Firecat, Hunter Ward, Lumberjake. You don't want to miss it. I mean, you go to a wrestling show, you never get the opportunity to determine a match. I mean, I know Monday Night Raw, you can vote on Twitter, but this is a unique opportunity. The fans, only the
Do it
fans,
live.
only do it live, and only the fans in the building get to vote for this match.
Wow.
So that's another reason why you want to be there on November 2nd. Of course, I have to talk about the grudge match that's also happening on our show. Anthony Stone is going to be taking on sensational Scott Levesque. Their rivalry up and down New England has been just a bitter rivalry. Yeah, they both want to be great.
From what I'm reading, they literally hate each other.
They literally hate each other. I mean, you always have wrestlers that hate each other in the ring. They put aside their differences outside the ring in the name of professionalism. Not these two. These two cannot stand one another. They both are trying to go toward the same path of greatness. However, one has the desire to get it done in the ring, which is Anthony Stone, and you have Scott Levesque, who is very cocky, very arrogant, and he'll step on anybody to get to the top. And these two have been battling up and down New England for years. And now the next chapter of their heated rivalry, easy for me to say, will take place at Elkmania on November 2nd.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
I mean, I talked about how the Bay State Championship match can steal the show and how The main event for the PCW title is going to be off the charts, but this match is going to be something special. Absolutely. And then if that wasn't enough, the NCW Tag Team Champions, the Inglorious Dastards, will be defending their NCW tag titles in an open challenge. Now the reason we're doing this as an open challenge is because nobody wants to face them. Promoter Ryan Andrews put out emails, phone calls, he even faxed people. He's like, do you want to face the Inglorious Dastards for the tag team titles?
Now, that's something you don't see. from
Nobody got back to him. He even quoted, if you go to elkmania.com, there's an interview with Ryan Andrews where he says, no promoter has ever had a more difficult time in offering a tag title shot. I mean, when you talk about wrestling on the show, everybody wants a title shot, whether it's a singles title or a tag title, because if you have a belt, that's more money in your pocket. But these guys have garnered a very fierce reputation in the short amount of time they've been the champions, and nobody wants to face them. But we're confident that when the dust settles and the smoke clears on November 2nd, somebody will take them up on their challenge.
And maybe some new champions will be ready to.
Absolutely,
Excuse
absolutely.
me, that was easy for me to say.
It won't be easy. Whoever takes this challenge will not be easy, but anything can happen at Elkmania. And of course, I'm gonna announce the final match. Yours truly, the Slam Master Atlee Green, is gonna be wrestling on November 2nd against British cutthroat Union Jack. Now Union Jack has had some very derogatory remarks about our country, about the United States of America, and ever since the government shutdown has happened, he's had that's given him more fuel to just trash our great country. And as a member of the Elks myself, we believe in brotherhood, charity, and patriotism, and I'm not going to allow Union Jack to come on our soil and Elkmania and just trash our country. He's going to get a lesson he'll never forget. Come November 2nd.
Union jerk.
Union Jerk, that's right.
If
Union Jackass, absolutely.
Absolutely. If I may interject here, Union Jack, this is not a small challenge. This is not a small feat.
Yeah.
This is a mountain of a man.
Not at all.
He's going to wreck you come November the 2nd.
Thank you very much.
And you're welcome, man. You're welcome. I sincerely mean that. I
Yeah, good luck on the match.
truly believe you will wreck this guy.
Oh,
Yeah, we've
that's-
actually seen Union Jack wrestle. I mean, he's pretty good, but his attitude just stinks. He needs to be put back in his place.
Yeah, he certainly does. I've actually caught him a couple of times prior. Not the nicest of guys. Let's put it that way.
And actually, he is the only wrestler signed for Elkmania that refused to do any of the promotional stuff. We have a lot of interviews set up, not just here in the North Shore area, but also in England. Since he's from England, he's flat out refused. Flat out refused to promote Elkmania, promote the matchup in any way, shape, or form, because he feels because it's an American product, it's also inferior, and he feels he'll get an easy payday and just steamroll over me. And I got news for you, Union Jack, it ain't happening.
I know you're going to be watching this show. Nothing about this country, including this show and including Elkmania, is inferior.
He's gonna find out the hard way.
Oh, you got that right. Oh, I'll be looking forward to that.
If you thought the Revolutionary War was bad, he ain't seen anything yet.
Nope. And if there are any wrestlers who are watching this particular show, backpedaling slightly to the open tag team match, who want to get in on the open tag team challenge, I'm pretty sure this gentleman will give you his email address, or at least give you the promoter's email address,
Right.
or you can email me, or email us here at krymzonkompany@aol.com.
I'll give you, absolutely. Contact the main man here, but also you can contact the Ryan Andrews, who is the promoter for Elkmania. The email address is elkmania1309@yahoo.com. And if any wrestlers out there want to take up the challenge and compete for the NCW Tag Team Championship, by all means, shoot Ryan Andrews an email. I'm sure he'll love to listen to you, hear you out. I mean, it's an open challenge, so it doesn't have to necessarily be answered at Elkmania. Somebody in the next couple of weeks, next couple of days, or right now, could say, oh, you know what, I want to challenge the tag titles. No one has done it yet, and that concerns me, because that tells you how feared these two men are.
Wow, that's...
And plus, they were actually, both men, the Inglorious Dastards, they were trained by dastardly Doug Summers, who was actually one of the men competing for the Bay State title that evening.
So it's gonna be kind of like a student-teacher type thing again, but not in the same match.
Absolutely, and it's
Wow.
funny because all three of those men could be walking out with gold.
Wow.
Especially if the tag team championship doesn't get responded to, they could just walk off by
That,
default.
that would be a shame because the fans were advertising a tag team match, we're promoting a tag team match, and the Dastards are gonna be there, no doubt about it. When we told them we could not find an opponent for them, they said, you know what, let's make it simple. Open challenge, we don't care. And they weren't just grandstanding, they literally don't care who they step in the ring with. And that tells you right there that they mean business.
Yes. Normally guys who don't care, guys who, this was, I've never seen them wrestle, but I'm, going to play advocate here that these guys can back up what they say,
Oh,
and back up what they do in the
can
ring.
they ever? Actually, here's the scary part about how feared they are. Number one, they've only been wrestling on shows for 6 months. And they won the NCW tag titles probably their 4th month
Wow.
in wrestling. And the scary part about the fact that no one wants to wrestle them now is that they're getting better. They haven't even scratched the surface of how good they are. The Inglorious Stats have only been wrestling for 6 months. They're going to get better as the months, the days, the months, the years go on. So if somebody wants to beat the Inglorious Dastards, November 2nd is the opportunity to do so. Don't challenge them a year from now when they're 10 times better than they are now.
You wanna get them when they're
Get them-
in the green stage, if you will.
Here's the thing, by technical definition, yes, they're green, but they don't wrestle like they're green. They don't hit like they're green. They don't kick like they're green.
Hit them in the infancy stage, get them now.
Get them now. Experience pays dividends if you're competing in the squared circle, and if an experienced duo decides to challenge them on November 2nd, maybe they'll walk out the tag team titles. But get them now before that green tag goes away and they're unstoppable.
I'm surprised you haven't found a partner challenging yourself.
I actually thought about that, but as soon as Union Jack started talking about our country and talking about the last time he was in the United States, as soon as he got on the plane, going back to his hometown of Birmingham, England, he burned his boots.
Because they stepped on the soil.
Yes, and as soon as I heard him publicly state that, I told Ryan Andrews, I want him. I want Union Jack on November 2nd at Elkmania, and Ryan Andrews, the promoter that he is, made it happen.
Reluctantly though?
He made it happen. No, Union Jack actually was not reluctant. He used it as an opportunity.
Actually, Ryan reluctantly signed the man.
He reluctantly signed him because he really had his heart set on me and somebody else perhaps maybe challenging for the tag team titles. That's also breaking news that I haven't talked about. I was contemplating challenging for the NCW tag team titles with a partner who will remain nameless for the moment. But once Union Jack kept trashing the United States, as a citizen of this great country as well as being a member of the Elks, I had to do my duty, had to do my civic duty, and shut up Union Jack, which I'm going to do on November 2nd.
Mr.